Hi guys, welcome to Crazy Burger. In this video we're going to be looking at a brand new game for the NES, Dreamcast and PC, and maybe even fingers crossed at some point on the Evercade. We're going to be looking at Flea 2 from Low Tech Games. Let's get started with the video. So the original Flea game released in 2020, and I have to say I was an absolute massive fan of this sort of new, unique style game. I really enjoyed it. The sort of mechanic with the Flea is just constantly jumping was really good fun. It was very, very addictive stuff. I am definitely a huge fan. And obviously I played this on the sort of NES emulators at the time. You can play it on Dreamcast as well. I'm pretty sure it's available perhaps somewhere on Switch as well. And I'm sure Flea 2 will appear on Switch at some point down the line as well. But I was a massive fan of Flea. It did appear on the original Evercade Indie Heroes cartridge, which was and still is probably one of my most favourite Evercade collections, and that game was a highlight for sure. But in this video we're obviously going to be looking at Flea 2, which should release I think early next week at the time of this video. It is complete. There are now over 80 levels that you can play, and just obviously word of warning, it is a lot trickier than the first game. So it's definitely designed for fans of the first game that loved it. It's definitely a stiffer challenge. So before we get started, let's have a quick browse through the control manual or the instruction manual for the game Flea 2. This is probably specifically for the NES version. I think there are hard copies available as well for this if you want to purchase that. I've sort of backed it on Kickstarter. I've only got access to the digital versions. I don't really have any need for physical versions of this on the NES or Dreamcast. So it is pretty much the same idea as the first game. You start off with some of the sort of attributes that you gain throughout the game. For instance, you can mash to small jump, and you can then boost as well. You will gain some extra stuff throughout the game, like the moon jump, which obviously adds a little bit extra to the game, but it is very, very tough. And you get a lot of lives throughout the game, and you can obviously add lives to that with your blood count, and then you can sort of reimburse that through the game. But you will probably lose lots and lots of lives as you go through the game. And there's nice little sections here, nice little cartoon that's been added to maybe explain some of the backstory to Flea 2. And obviously you play Henry, the hyperactive Flea that just keeps on jumping as you sort of make your way through the levels. But yeah, very cool. I love the art style. Very, very nice. Definitely something that stuck out from the first game. And yeah, Tapeworm there as well. That was the spin-off sort of game, Tapeworm Disco Puzzle, which was also a fantastic title from Low Tech Games. That's also available if you look on itch.io. You can play that on NES as well. I'm pretty sure you can obviously play that on Evercade Indie Heroes Collection 2. Very nice artwork, but without further ado, we're going to get stuck into Flea 2, and I'll give you my thoughts as we go. And there's obviously the backers of the game. So we've got the audio music, which is absolutely brilliant. Got some help from the programming from Dale Coop, and art and game design is obviously from Ali Lowe, who is the main guy behind Low Tech Games. And just for a little sort of sneak hint there, level warp equals first screen, jump star right, dash moon, exit top left. Happy days. There was obviously a sneak on the first game as well to maybe get to that level warp and sneak to other levels. So if you want to maybe cheat a little bit, it's there in the manual. Okay, we'll start off with the NES version. There aren't really a lot of differences between the different versions, to be honest. It is pretty much the same game, albeit the Dreamcast PC versions, the graphics are a little bit sharper, but that really is the main difference that I could see. Now, it starts off easy enough. You get the dash ability right away by holding down the D-pad and pressing the A button, and also you use that to the ability to talk, and then if you want to sort of do short jumping, you need to mash away at the button. Now eventually you will get the moon ability, which gives you a little bit of protection from all the dangers, and it allows you the ability to jump a little higher. But apologies, yeah, it's probably the B button to sort of do the quick ability there, the dash ability, and you mash the A button to do short jumps to avoid hitting the sort of needle spikes at the top there. But yeah, The first few stages are basically just a tutorial to get you started. It does get ferociously difficult really, really quick. I have to say, if you really struggled with the first game, then this game is not going to be for you, because it is much, much harder, much more frustrating. And again, yes, you need to collect those blood samples to sort of trade in for lives. I think you get to trade them in after every few levels or so. But there's lots of things that are going to stop you here, lots of enemies. It is notoriously difficult and frustrating at times, but it's still very good. It does still have that addictive quality that you want to keep on playing, but I think the frustrating level is definitely a lot higher than the first game. There's no doubt about it. So every 10th level you will have the boss sort of battle levels, which are really frustrating. They basically scroll from left to right and you have to outrun some sort of foe that is chasing you, and at the same time navigate all the obstacles on the level. It probably goes on for a minute or two, and there are no save points throughout the level, so you have to probably memorise the layout and utilise all the different abilities that you have to try and get to the end so they can move on to the next stage. These levels are very tough and extremely frustrating at times. I really would wish there was some sort of mid-level sort of checkpoint that would help a lot. Now don't forget there is the added moon jump ability, which obviously is quite helpful, but it just adds that extra complication, and sometimes I forget which button to press and just get all confused. It is rather cool, but I just get confused. Okay, so my final thoughts on Flea 2. Now, I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed. Now, it's very polished, everything about it is fantastic, nice graphics, soundtrack, design is really good. I just find the game way too difficult and far too frustrating to be enjoyable. The whole thing with the first game was it was very enjoyable, it was addictive, it had that one more go mentality, they just keep coming back to it. But the second game just doesn't have that same have another go mentality. I just feel as if you probably want to give up because it's so frustrating. You're going to pull your hair out, you're going to get grey hair, or you're going to smash a controller. I'd love to love it more, but unfortunately I don't. Thanks very much for watching. Catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.